Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing all good. I've been struggling a little bit with the sun, which is awesome and beautiful today. But I also want you to have a nice backdrop. So I've been choosing this background now. Hey, yes, we're going to talk about the Chinese Zodiac. And as I said in the introduction yesterday, there's so much more to know about it, and there's so much more to talk about. And I want to give you a little bit more than an introduction, to be honest, but about the Chinese horoscope in general. Do you know your BaZi, your Chinese horoscope? I mean, you may know the animal of the year you were born in, but do you know that you have 3 more animals, actually a few more, but let's stick to the basics, which are really important for your personal path in life. So the animal sign you were born under in the year, but also in the month, in the day, and in the hour. So this is why it's called BaZi, 8 characters, sometimes also called the 4 pillars of destiny. So would you like to know more about them? So let me know in the comments. And today I would like to introduce to you the character of the rat. So if you're born in the years 1948, 1960, 1972, 1984, 1996, 2008, or 2020, welcome, then you are a rat. Just be aware that we are using a different calendar in this case. In this case, generally speaking, the solar calendar. If you're born before February 4, the solar calendar, Chinese New Year, is always on February 4, the beginning of spring. Don't mix it up with the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar is the Chinese New Year that's been celebrated everywhere and that you probably might know of. Different calendar. With the BaZi, with the horoscope, we are using the solar calendar. So if you happen to be born before the 4th of February, you still belong to the year before. So the rat itself resides in the north direction. It's a water sign, a water yang sign. It governs also, and here we go, most of December. So I already told you, it's about the year, the month, the day, and the hour. So the rat doesn't only govern every 12 years that I've mentioned before, but also in the month of December. And it also governs the hours between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Well, so the further we go, the more important these informations are for you. So the rat is born under the water element, and it will also depend on which rat you are. Because you see, there's not just 12 animal signs. Actually, there are 60 different pillars, 60 different signs, because you could have also 5 different elements. So you could be a water rat, a wood water rat, a fire water rat, an earth water rat, or a metal water rat. So we've got actually 60 different signs in the animal zodiac. Did you know that? Now you do. So depending on what we call it, heavenly stem, that's the additional element you get to your earthly branch. That's your animal. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into the rat. As I said, it's the water yang sign. The key word for the rat is ambitious. I don't know if you relate to that. And what a coincidence. Today is the day of the rat. Ta-da! So, those born under the sign of the rat are usually, I already mentioned the word ambitious, charming, quick-witted, and intelligent. It's a very, very social sign, and rat people tend to be very talkative and hardly ever found sitting quietly on their own. But again, remember, it's not just about that one sign, it's about all the other signs too that you have. But generally speaking, they are quite honest, sometimes even a bit too honest. They can also be greedy and calculative, but they are totally generous when it comes to their own family. A very, very social animal that is. And as I said before, I mentioned in the introduction yesterday, and I can't emphasize that enough, the importance in your horoscope lies not just in looking at one pillar, like a year pillar. Oh, she's a red, she's like blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how it is. It's way, way more complex. You see, all the animals, depending on where they are having friends and enemies, and also combinations and harmonies. So in the case of the red, the combination or friend is the ox. So if you have the red and the ox both in your on your Barza, then you have a combination, then you have a friends, which of course makes your Barza, your horoscope, stronger, as if you had a clash or an enemy. So in this case, the enemy or the clash of the red is the horse. You see, the red is a water sign and the horse is a fire sign, standing absolutely opposite to the red. So that means that they are clashing. So if you have a red and a horse in your horoscope, it's a bit more tricky, but it also means that you are probably more challenged. It also means that you can grow more. So there is always something positive to find about it, as you will see the more you go along with me. The harmony comes then with the dragon and the monkey. So the red has a 3 harmony with dragon and monkey. So I mentioned in the introduction the time, and I already told you that today is a red day, and you know that it's an ox year. So as I said to you, the ox is a friend of the red. So if you're born under the sign of the red, then the ox year should be a bit more easier than the other one. Or let's say certain things will come a little bit more easy for you, and it's probably not the time of change this year. Talking about the red in general, the red, as I said, is a water sign, and it is the highest yin. So the red is also a little bit of an anxious form. It's a lot about safety and security. So this is why the red sometimes seems to be a little bit greedy with money, which it actually isn't. Again, I said very generous with friends and family. But due to the nature of the red being a little bit anxious as a deep water sign, it can appear to be greedy. But don't let the outer appearance blind you. Not at all, please. Not at all. And again, I cannot emphasize enough. It always has to do with the combination in your horoscope, and also the combination of what year is it, what month is it, what day is it. So there's a lot more to it, but let's stick a little bit more to the basics. And I want to see a little bit more about the red itself. So if you are interested in the general, if you would be a pure red, let's say 4 reds in your 8 characters, in your 4 pillars, very social being. I said that before. What's really, they're diligent workers because they have really cool ideas. A lot of them are writers, really good writers, all found in PR work or media. The red comes up with mostly with solutions. So unless the red is in a negative cycle, as I said, sometimes fear and anxiety driven, then he or she will be more focused on the problem. But normally, if he or she is a balanced red, then they will always come up with a really cool solution. If the red finds itself in a very bureaucratic surrounding, it tends to be a little bit too hard on the side of discipline and routine. And that makes sometimes the red look a little bit opportunistic, and gullible, which is normally not their nature, but it can happen if they are in that surrounding. Again, think about red as really safety and security oriented. So the nature is normally really outgoing, but if he or she feels cornered, then that's what he or she does, and that's what they are. Yeah, so there's a lot more to say about the red, but seriously, you can Google that. If you want an honest and unbiased critique from someone, ask the red. They will give you a very, very honest critique. Very family oriented, I already said that. So can be very private, individual, but doesn't really want to be on their own. So the red is undoubtedly very talented, and they sometimes fail to capitalize on their abilities. And they have the tendency, because they are so social and want to please a lot of people, to become involved with too many schemes and chase after too many opportunities, to not focus enough. So if the red can slow down and concentrate and focus, doing one thing at a time, they can become really successful. So that is the challenge for the red, is to stay focused on one thing, slow down, concentrate. Then the wealth and success will come to them. And the red usually has a lot of friends. So make use of that. But again, as I said before, this would be the case for you if your personality were only focused on the red, and that is not the case. You will hardly find a person where this description fits 100%. The influences of the other animals in the other pillars are often as important as the environment. So always remember, the heaven luck, your BaZi, makes only 33% of your luck. The other 60% come from your environment, your earth luck or Feng Shui, and your main luck, man luck, which is your choices, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your behaviors. So this is called the Trinity of Feng Shui, and this is what shapes you in all the way that you are. And nothing is written in stone. You're able to change, right? So your BaZi can tell you what to change, when it's more favorable, when it's not worth banging your head against the wall, trying to find something that this year maybe is not to be found for you. So in the end, it's about doing the right thing at the right place in the right time. And let this be your mantra. So if you're born under the sign of the red, find out what your month pillar and your day pillar and your hour pillar is, so that you see if there are more friends, more enemies, more challenges in your life, and also the relationship to the year you're living in and the relationship to the month we're living in. So this is me for the topic of the red, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow for our next topic, which is the ox, the friend of the red. Have a fabulous evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.